morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and today I am bringing you another battle to my epic battle series. This is the Battle of LEGNICA, I believe is how you would pronounce it. It is a dispute between the Golden Horde of the Mongols and the Polish. And to just give you a little bit of an overview on what was going on at this time. So basically the Golden Horde, or the Mongols, had actually invaded Europe with a force of about 25,000 men. And the main body of the army actually traveled to Hungary because there was a large force gathering there to oppose them. But there was a small detachment of about 3,000 riders that were sent into Poland because they knew that Poland would probably send some kind of relief force to aid the Hungarians. So 3,000 lancers, it consisted of about 2,200 to 2,400 lancers and about 800 mounted horse archers. So it was led by, I think, a few generals, Baidar, Kadan, and Orda Khan. Now, I'm just going to put this on pause just so we can finish talking about it. Now, none of these generals are represented here, but there are 3 players for the Mongol side, so we do have 3 generals, which is very nice to see. So, the Mongol forces were, as we know, very, very elite. They were very well trained. The lancers were unparalleled to any of the European cav. And the horse archers really gave the Europeans a bit of trouble, just because it wasn't like conventional European warfare, where the 2 armies would line up, their forces charge at each other, and whoever was left standing won. The horse archers would often charge large bodies of men, and then right before they connected, they would just turn around and then retreat. And this would cause the European soldiers to kind of give way and chase after them a little bit, but then the horse archers actually fire as they were retreating into the westernized soldiers of the European soldiers. So it was a very effective tactic that the Mongols did use to kind of plow through a lot of Eastern Europe very quickly. So without further ado, you can see it's not a very long battle. The man count is about accurate. So we have 3,400. So some sources say between 3,000 and 8,000 men, but a lot of others most were leaning towards about 3,000 cavalry. And then for the defenders, it's anywhere from 4,000 to 8,000. So 7,000 is a good safe bet, but we only have about 6,000 represented here. Now, for the European armies, I have 2 armies from Poland. So there was Greater Poland, who was represented, and Lesser Poland. And then there was also the Kingdom of Bohemia as well. So back then, I guess they were classified as the Moravians, but they were led under a Bohemian king. So we've got most of them all represented here. And funnily enough, where's the general? This guy here, Margrave of Moravia. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. But it was actually this general's grandson who was at LEGNICA, so we can just pretend that this is a correct general. But we do have, I really like that it has Margrave of Moravia, so we know that they are represented in this battle. But yeah, let's kind of jump over these army compositions, and then we'll get the battle started. So we'll look at my army in the center. The Mongol armies are going to be very simple to go over, just because they're mostly the same. But I believe I have about 8 or 12 units of these Mongol heavy lancers of the high period. And then, how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7. So I have 7 units of heavy horse archers of the early period. And then I've got my general here, Kashik. So that is one of the generals. And then looking over on this side, again, a very, very similar army. So we got a lot of the Mongol heavy lancers, tier 2. And then we've got just a regular general's bodyguard of the high period here. And then he has 6 units of heavy horse archers, tier 1. And then jumping over to the other side, again, 6 horse archers for him as well. And the rest just Mongol heavy lancers, tier 2. And his general is Kashik. Do we have 2 Kashiks? Oh, I guess we have 2 Kashiks. We could just pretend that they were the other generals and commanders of this battle. I'd really, really like to see in the future of Medieval Kingdoms 1212 that they add in some custom generals. That would be really, really cool. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of go over all of these armies as a whole. So we've got some mercenary Mazonian cavalry, sorry. We got the Polish king of Lesser Poland, so that's good because he was represented here. And then in the front, looks like we got some Pavese spearmen, 4 units. And looks like we got some heavy axemen here as well. In behind, we got some archer sergeants from Lesser Poland. We got some sergeants of the High Period here in shield wall in the front line. So, no more than tier 2 just because of the time period, but you'll see that, you know, a lot of these soldiers are tier 1, as you can see from the archer sergeants here as well. We got some Pavesiers in the front line too. I think this is the second player now. He's got some halberdiers here. Very, very cool. And we got some cav back here. Excellent. We got some Bohemian Knights, so that's pretty historically accurate. Of the early period, we already saw the general over there. We got some spear sergeants. And then we have the Polish king of Greater Poland, so that's also representative because the Greater Poland and Lesser Poland were both in today's battle. So we've got some heavy axemen back here. Basically just a long line of spears. And then way over here we got more mercenary Mazovian cavalry. And we have the Great Banner of Krakow actually as well. So let's go ahead and start this battle here. And we're basically, it's going to start right over here with the horse archers moving forwards at an incredible speed. So they're going to go and start to pick apart the cavalry. Because right now that's going to be our only threat. Once we can get rid of the cavalry, then the infantry will be pretty easy to pick apart. Yeah, just firing in on the Great Banner of Krakow over there. Got another horse archer unit, but it's really moving in there. That's actually going to get caught out, unfortunately. Yeah, the Great Banner of Krakow is getting a little bit depleted, and here we go, the horse archers just moving away. I'm sending some of my Mongol heavy lancers over here to help out. Over here on this side as well, we've got some of the horse archers that will be firing into these sergeants. That's going to be a little bit more of a difficult task just because they are in shield wall and they're also pretty heavily armored.
Be brave!
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna pull off his horse archers for now. How are we doing over here? Yeah, this is really where the battle kind of takes off, is just on the flanks, trying to eliminate the enemy cavalry. The Great Banner of Krakow is here. Oh, yes. Just getting completely slaughtered. But it looks like I've got my lancers over here, so looks like he's going to commit his cavalry, but I'm just going to go ahead and commit my lancers as well. And the cab battle has begun over on the, well, I guess this would be the left flank. We've got some more cavalry coming in from behind. Getting a decent charge off on my heavy lancers. But again, these Mongol lancers are just so elite. You can see already breaking the Great Banner of Krakow. We've got the mercenary Mazovian warriors also getting quite depleted. They are tier 1 cav. And I've got a nice flanking charge with some of my other lancers as well. It looks like one of the players was going to send some sergeants, but he's decided against that. He's now just going to pull away. But oh my goodness, we got a big charge here from some heavy horse archers into these spears. That was definitely a mistake because these spears are pretty elite, and they've also moved in range of the enemy archers as well. So they're going to lose quite a bit of men in that endeavor. Yeah, I would try to stay back as far as possible there. Just use your range. But yeah, we've completely eliminated the cavalry that was charged in, and I've really taken minimal losses there. If we kind of jump over to the other side, you can see there is also some kind of charging forwards and then firing in as well. Looks like the general for Lesser Poland is also very depleted, which is not good. But we've got a charge from some of the Mazovian cavalry, again, into the horse archers, actually catching most of them in melee. So that is a really, really good... that's a really good job there by the player from Lesser Poland. Unfortunately, though, this Tier 1 Cav is just having a really hard time. He did get some... he did get some kills, but those heavy horse archers are just so fast, they're going to be able to outrun the heavy melee cavalry and then just fire on them as they retreat. If I was the general here, I would move this unit out of here. Well, it looks like we're going to have some charging over here as well. Yes, charging into some of the archers, actually, that had moved forwards. And getting a decent charge off on those, I believe these are sergeants as well. Yeah, you can see their morale is just dropping very quickly. I don't think that this unit was in shield wall, but he is sending forward some heavy axemen to help turn the tide. Some of my Lancers getting hit pretty hard now. But it looks like we got another unit of Lancers from my ally charging forwards. Got a unit of Sergeants from the High Period trying to form up here, but half of their unit just disappears under the hooves of the heavy Mongol Lancers. Yeah, they're probably going to break for sure. Zoom out and take a look at over here. So over here, I'm not doing as good. You can see my Lancers they must have gotten charged by these Bohemian Knights, because they are just wrapping me up over here. Both of my units of heavy Lancers are breaking. And also over here, the general, the Margrave of Moravia, he caught out some of my horse archers as well, so he's pretty much slaughtering them. Let's go. Whoops. I was about to say, let's go ahead and put this in slow motion, but then I got rid of the HUD. So yes, this player on my right, he is being a little bit slower. He's, trying to cautiously use up all of his ammo before charging in, because this army does pose quite a threat. They do have a lot of spears, and you don't really just want to charge into those spears head on. But looking at how many the ally versus enemy count, we only have half the soldiers that they do. So they still could scrape a victory out of this, but only 5 minutes left already, so something big's probably going to happen real soon. If I was this unit of horse archers, I'd probably just charge into these 2 units of archer sergeants, because they're kind of out in the open. Heavy horse archers, firing in that circle formation. I can't remember exactly what this is called, but if any of you guys know what it's called, just leave a comment down below so I know for future battles. It was in Medieval 2 on the horse archers. I can't exactly remember what it is, though. But anyways, we've got pretty much a big break from, my first wave of Mongol Lancers on this flank. And he does have some spears over here as well. The Mongols did try to charge into those spears, but it didn't look like they got a very good charge off. So I would just try to pull out this cavalry if I was him and wait for a better opening. But you can see up on the hilltop there the victorious Bohemian Knights. I bet they're feeling pretty proud for defeating the Mongol Lancers, but that is just the first wave.
Our men return to the fight.
A lot of arrow fire also coming in. Yeah, we're not doing too good on this flank, that's for sure. You can see some of my allies' Mongol Heavy Lancers also breaking. But I am redeploying more of my Lancers over to this flank. You can see I've got another 4 units fresh and ready to go. And most of my Lancer units did come back from routing, which is good. Over on this side, we got the horse archers kind of harassing the flanks over on this side. And we've got some of the Bohemia Knights of the early period not faring as well, just because there's 4 units of Mongol Heavy Lancers on this flank. Let's go ahead and put this back to play here. Here's some of the battle sounds as the Lancers just wipe them out. These guys look awesome too. I love the Heavy Lancers. They look great. Got some archers firing into them, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal. But I would definitely start to charge these archers in behind. Looks like one of the Polish players is moving forward some of his... let's put this in slow motion here. He's got some of his heavy axemen here, but they are not in shield wall, so this is not going to be good. If he can get a good charge off on them, they're just going to get destroyed. Yeah, that was a pretty decent charge. He missed half the unit, though, but he's following up on this flank as well, getting the rest of them. And charging head-on, whoa, right into this unit of axes. Yeah, that is the might of the Heavy Lancer right there. He's also sending another unit, but... at this point, he's going to need something besides heavy axes. They're already starting to waver from that hit. Oh, and over here, too, I got a good, well, I wouldn't say a good charge, but a good cinematic charge off on these sergeants with 4 units of my Mongol Heavy Lancers. But they just got wiped out. I was shocked, you know. They were in shield wall, granted, but they were only tier 2 sergeants, so I thought if I got a really decent charge off with my Heavy Lancers that I'd just be able to kind of run on through them. But they routed all 4 of them pretty effectively, as you can see. You know, just a couple of my Heavy Lancers still fighting it out over here. Yeah, he's gonna try to escape. Alright, so let's take a look at what else we have left. We are doing very well on this flank now, though. We're kind of, you know, catching our second wind. One of the generals for the Polish, I believe, has already been slain. We still have the Polish king of Lesser Poland over here. But, oh, look, 2 of the generals. So Greater Poland is broken, and Margrave of Moravia is also broken. So only one of the generals remains. Does have some of these elite halberds over here, though, fighting against my Mongol Heavy Lancers. But I think the morale of them losing their general is going to be too much for them. They're not going to be able to fight very effectively. Ooh. Getting a lot of friendly fire, though, with my archers, my horse archers. I got to watch that. Last general being over here in the center, just trying to keep some kind of order amongst his men. Go ahead and pop this on play. Polish king of Lesser Poland is here. And there he is. Oh, where are you going, buddy? He's probably going to die from this archer fire as well. Oh, yes! 2 arrows to the head takes down the Polish general, or the Polish king, I should say, from these horse archers. That is dirty. But I really, really love this as well. There's this last stand going on here. They're trying to retreat as many men as possible into this little square formation. We got some of the horse archers charging in, but that basically just bounced off like water on rock. That did nothing against these Pavesiers, I guess, since they aren't French. He does have some halberdiers in here as well, though, but it looks like he's pulling them out for some reason. I would try to get as many men into here as possible. Yeah, it looks like he's pulling back in some spear sergeants here, but some archers are getting run down by these Mongol Heavy Lancers. But the balance of power still isn't in our favor yet, which is pretty crazy. They still have 2,000 more men than we do.
Enemy units have been rallied.
These poor heavy axemen over here, they just do not fare well against enemy cavalry. With axes, you really have to use them as a support unit. They're not good for soaking up cavalry charges, especially that from heavy lances like this. You can hear the Mongol rally horn in the distance. That is so cool. Scattered battle lines everywhere, just troops breaking off the battlefield. There's a couple of archers over here that could be charged.
Our allies' general has fallen.
Oh, it looks like one of the generals is dead for us, but we've pretty much wrapped everything up on this flank over here.
Dark day. Our general has died.
Oh, and my general's dead as well. You can see him there getting slaughtered by some of the Bohemian sergeants. So one general is left, but this is pretty much the end of the battle. Just with them fighting here. The rest of the troops outside are going to die, and this is the end of the Battle of